In order to derive the formula for a sum and product of the roots, you can use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, the way we can derive these two formulas, negative b over a and c over a, is by taking our quadratic formula and breaking it up into two equations. The two equations that I broke my quadratic formula up into are x equals negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now what I'm going to do to prove the sum of the roots is, I'm going to add my two roots together. So x plus y is equal to negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a plus negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now when I add these together, since they have a like denominator, I'm going to keep that as 2a. Well, my numerators are, well, negative b plus a negative b is negative 2b, and the square root of b squared minus 4ac plus a negative the square root of b squared minus 4ac, well, they're going to eliminate. Now I have negative 2b over 2a. If I simplify this, I'm left with negative b over a, which is the formula for the sum of the roots. In order to derive the product of the roots formula, we are also going to break our quadratic formula into two equations, the same two as before. Now that we have those set up, I'm going to multiply them. We have negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a times negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now if I were to multiply these, we're going to end up with negative b to the second power minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac to the second power. Now, the way I did that was, since this is negative b plus the discriminant, and then there's negative b minus the discriminant, well, that is a product of binomial with opposite signs, so it's going to be equivalent to a squared minus b squared. When multiplying denominators, we're just going to multiply straight across. So 2a times 2a is going to leave me with 4a squared. Now we're working with this simple equation. Since there is a square root that is being squared, the square root of a square is just what is underneath the radicand. So now I'm left with negative b to the second power minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. Now if I continue to solve this problem, I have a negative next to a set of parentheses. So I'm going negative b squared is b squared, and when I distribute that negative to all pieces, I have negative b squared plus 4ac all over 4a squared. If I continue to simplify this, b squared minus b squared gives me 0. And now I'm left with 4ac over 4a squared. I'm going to simplify this one step further, and now I'm going to have c divided by a, which is our formula for product of the roots.